When the water recedes, the secrets hidden beneath its surface come to light. What seemed bottomless and infinite suddenly becomes accessible. After a drought in the canals, lakes, and other water bodies, unexpected discoveries are made. Treasures of the past, sunken ships, buried villages, and even ancient artifacts. These aquatic mysteries come alive and tell their stories, allowing us to glimpse into the past and learn more about our world. Welcome to the TopFacts channel, where today we embark on a fascinating journey and uncover incredible findings revealed after a drought. Enjoy the show, and let's dive in. A severe drought in Iraq led to an unexpected archaeological discovery. An ancient city, located at the bottom of the Tigris River, was unearthed by scientists. The city, believed to have been founded between the 15th and 13th centuries BCE, belonged to the Mitanni Empire. It is possibly the ruins of the ancient trading city of Zakiku, destroyed by an earthquake in 1350 BCE. The city submerged approximately 40 years ago after the construction of the Mosul Dam, but due to record drought in the region, the water level in the river dropped, allowing researchers to study the city. Among the houses and multi-story buildings, archaeologists discovered the possible location of a palace and several towers. 5 ceramic vessels with cuneiform inscriptions were found in the city, which could provide valuable information about life during the decline of the Mitanni Empire. In our next episode, the underwater village of Quran emerges after being submerged for 70 years. This village was once home to hundreds of people before it was flooded in 1950 due to the construction of a hydroelectric power station and the merging of 2 nearby lakes. Some parts of it, such as a section of the church spire, remained visible above the water and served as inspiration for the Netflix show Quran. Currently, the lake is temporarily drained for maintenance purposes, giving tourists and local residents the opportunity to see the village for the first time. Many Quran residents opposed the construction of the dam and lake before they were built. Over 160 houses were abandoned when the Rija Lake was created. It's fascinating to imagine walking among the remnants of an old village that was submerged more than 70 years ago. What secrets does this underwater settlement hold? Water is life, but what happens when water disappears? Something incredible happened in Mexico. Ruins of a long-forgotten temple emerged from beneath the water. The river that feeds the Nezahualcóyotl Reservoir dried up due to drought, causing the water level to drop by 82 feet. Thanks to this, we can now see a part of Spanish history that remained underwater for over half a century. This temple was built in the 16th century but was closed in the 17th century due to a plague epidemic. The temple ended up underwater in 1966 after the construction of a dam. However, in 2021, due to the decrease in water quantity, the temple resurfaced. Now, local fishermen organized boat tours for tourists who want a closer look at the ruins and approach the temple walls. In 2002, visitors could even enter the ruins of the temple. This discovery reminds us of the importance of taking care of natural resources and leaving traces for future generations. After all, water is not just life, it's also the history of our planet. The Mississippi River is one of the most famous and important rivers in the United States. But what happens when the water level in it drops to unprecedented levels? This year, severe drought and abnormal heat led to a low water level in the Mississippi, resulting in the unexpected discovery of the sunken casino boat Diamond Lady. The boat was in operation in the 1990s and was used as a floating casino before being taken out of service in 1999 and docked at Riverside Park in Memphis. But only this year, due to the low water level, the boat was found on the riverbed. This discovery reminds us that nature is an unpredictable and powerful force that can change our lives at any moment. We must take care of natural resources and respect them to preserve them for future generations. Next, let's talk about the drying up of the Euphrates River, which has revealed ancient secrets. The exposed bottom of the Qadisiyah Reservoir in Iraq revealed the ruins of an ancient city, possibly older than Babylon, called Anna. But these are not just tombs, as some researchers suggest, rather, they are entrances to underground dungeons. There are staircases leading to narrow tunnels, and some structures resemble reinforced concrete constructions. Strange sounds, reminiscent of moans and cries, can be heard from these ancient underground chambers. The locals have become fearful of this place as it is too mysterious and eerie. What these sounds are and what lies behind these ancient walls remains a mystery. Nevertheless, even without that, we understand that drought is a serious problem for our planet, and we need to take care of water resources. Now we will tell you about an unusual discovery in Texas. Due to a severe drought, the Paluzie River dried up and exposed traces of dinosaurs that lived here many years ago. Our ancestors, giant reptiles, left a chain of footprints that stretched for many yards along the dry riverbed. Among them were the tracks of a predatory Acrocanthosaurus, which measured up to 15 feet in length and weighed about 8 tons. Traces of a Sauroposeidon were also found, a herbivorous giant that towered over the world at a height of 60 feet and weighed up to 50 tons. Usually, all these tracks are hidden underwater, making them difficult to discover. Paleontologists have very little time left to study the tracks because rain is expected in the region soon, which will submerge everything back underwater. And this reminds us that much still remains hidden underwater, waiting to be discovered. How would you react if you found part of the jaw of an ancient predator during a walk? That's exactly what happened to Wiley Pruitt from Mississippi. He discovered the fossil of an animal that roamed the region about 11,000 years ago. And the most interesting part was that it was a jawbone of an American lion, a giant predator weighing over 1,000 pounds and measuring over 6 feet in length. Such a find is not only interesting in itself but also important for science, as it is the fourth discovery of this animal in the Mississippi River. No one knew about the existence of the American lion until the 1830s when it was first discovered in the state of Mississippi. Perhaps this giant predator met its demise, but why exactly it became extinct remains a mystery. In the waters of the Po River in Italy, a World War II bomb was discovered, which could only be defused after evacuating 3,000 civilians. Fishermen found the bomb when they noticed it on the shore as the water level of the river became low due to the drought. Sappers removed the detonator from the device and transported the bomb to a remote quarry, where it was destroyed by a controlled explosion. This is not the first case of discovering unexploded ordnance. But why do such findings still occur decades after the end of World War II? How can military bombs remain unexploded for such a long period of time? The answer to this question is that military bombs can be buried deep in the ground, inside buildings, rivers, or in hard-to-reach terrain. Moreover, such bombs can be forgotten over time or their locations may be inaccurately marked on maps. That is why discoveries of unexploded ordnance still occur and pose a real threat to residents. In Spain, a submerged ghost village called Acerito was discovered after being underwater for over 30 years. According to local residents, it looks like scenes from a movie that can only be seen in theaters. The Alto Lindoso Reservoir was created in 1992 with the help of a dam, and since then, the village has been submerged. Now, with the water level reduced to 15% of its capacity, the ruins of Acerito have become a tourist attraction, drawing many visitors. The discovery of the submerged village raises some concerns among locals, who talk about possible consequences of climate change. On the other hand, submerged villages can become a valuable source of historical data for researchers and archaeology enthusiasts. Mormon Island, a California island submerged by a lake, has revealed its secrets for the first time in 60 years. The city was founded in 1848 following the discovery of gold. At its peak, it was home to 2,500 immigrants seeking fortunes in the region. However, after the gold ran out, the city quickly became deserted. In the 1950s, the city was completely demolished, and its remnants were submerged by Folsom Lake. But a recent drought period caused the water level in the lake to drop to a historic low, exposing the ruins of Mormon Island once again. Now, we can see the stone foundations of the city, piles of rusty nails, tool details, and broken bottles that have been lying at the lake's bottom for 60 years. This incredible discovery shows how history can remain hidden underwater and how a drought can lead to the revelation of past secrets. Nature continues to amaze us with its mysteries. In Spain, a severe drought has led to the emergence of ruins from a Roman camp that was submerged in 1948. This camp was used by the Romans as a temporary fort and military barracks during the construction of the historical road Via Nova. It was abandoned around 120 AD but was rediscovered in the 1920s by local archaeologist Florentino Lopez Cuvillas. Later, in 1948, the camp was flooded after the construction of a hydroelectric power station. But now, thanks to the drought, we can see its ruins again. Additionally, receding waters have exposed the ruins of an 11th century church in the village of San Roman de Sal and a prehistoric stone circle. These ruins were submerged in the 1960s when a nearby dam was built. Usually, we can only see the bell tower of this church, but now, thanks to the drought, we can see much more. Who knows what other secrets might be hidden at the bottom of rivers and reservoirs? We will find out more in our upcoming segment. The drought that has engulfed Europe has resulted in the Danube, one of the most important rivers on the continent, reaching a very low water level. But this time, it revealed an unusual historical artifact, the remains of dozens of German warships that sank during World War II. The vessels still lie at the river's bottom and can pose a danger to navigation and the fishing industry as they contain tons of ammunition and explosives. Furthermore, the shipwrecks impede river traffic during low water levels. The residents of Serbia consider them a threat to themselves and the environment. Drought and high temperatures have also hindered navigation on other rivers in Europe, including Germany, Italy, and France. Some of the ships can still be seen, boasting towers, command bridges, and warped hulls. The government recently announced a tender to salvage the hulls and remove the ammunition to prevent threats to local residents and the surrounding environment. In Louisiana, the remains of a sunken 19th century merchant ship were also discovered due to the record low water level in the Mississippi River. A man named Patrick Ford found the shipwreck debris during his daily searches along the riverbank. The ship, Brookhill, was built in Indiana in 1896 for trading and sank along with another vessel in 1915. The shipwreck debris was partially discovered in 1990, but the record low water level in the Mississippi River allowed researchers to uncover even more remains. Archaeologists confirmed that it was indeed the Brookhill, and the boats built during that time are unique and rare, with little documentation about them. In the Yangtze River Basin in Sichuan Province, China, statues of Buddhas were discovered, one of which was made as far back as 600 years ago. What secrets do you think such an ancient statue can hold? According to researchers, this finding holds significant historical value and can provide us with a wealth of interesting information about the culture and beliefs of the people who created it. The Buddha statue was unearthed during excavations amidst a large cliff, and 2 more small Buddha statues were found alongside it. Now, that's a real discovery. Standing at about 1 meter tall, the statue rests on a lotus base and has been remarkably well preserved for 6 centuries. All 3 statues hold great spiritual value for the local residents and can attract the attention of tourists from around the world. We hope that the discovery of these ancient Buddha statues will bring us more knowledge about the culture and history of China. Europe is facing serious problems due to droughts, which continue to damage crops and cause concern among scientists. Regions like the Elbe and the Czech River have recently exposed ruins and ammunition left over from conflicts that occurred many years ago. Recent droughts are linked to record temperatures, leading to soil drying out and crop problems. Unfortunately, the climate continues to warm, raising concerns about the consequences of extreme meteorological droughts. The current drought in northern and central Europe is one of the strongest regional droughts in recent times and is accompanied by abnormally high temperatures. How this will impact the environment and people in the future remains unknown. However, it may serve as a compelling reason to discuss climate change and what we can do to combat these issues. Recently in China, a 400-year-old stone bridge was discovered that had been submerged in Lake Poyang for a long time. The bridge was built during the Ming Dynasty and measures 2,657 meters, 8,720 feet, in length, making it the longest stone bridge across a lake in China. The bridge is known as the Thousand Spans Bridge due to its 948 openings, which were used to facilitate drainage during floods. Normally, the bridge remains underwater, but due to a severe drought, the water level in Lake Poyon dropped to 98 meters, 33 feet, revealing the bridge. This ancient bridge is an important historical and cultural monument that is now being restored using specialized techniques. How long do you think it took to build such a bridge during the Ming Dynasty? In Ireland, archaeologists have discovered ancient ruins resembling the famous Stonehenge in England. Their discovery was accidental, thanks to heat and drought, which changed the color of the grass in the field. The ruins consist of a circular mark with a diameter of 150 meters, 492 feet, and are estimated to be around 5,000 years old. This is part of the Brú na Bóinne archaeological complex located north of Dublin, which includes burial mounds, megaliths, and other henges. According to scientists' speculations, this structure may have been used for rituals and could accommodate several thousand people. The ruins have some differences from Stonehenge, such as double grooves forming a circle. This finding has international significance as it will help expand our knowledge of ancient civilizations' architecture and rituals. When the authorities drained this 656-foot-long canal, what they found at the bottom was extraordinary. People were convinced it was a small spaceship that had crashed. Then an 84-year-old man, who was a sailor in World War II, said that everyone should run away from here as far as possible. The old man recognized it as an unexploded sea mine from that time. He probably saved many lives that day. So how did this mine end up in the canal? Do you think it is still dangerous? In North Dakota, as a result of a drought on the Missouri River, the sunken steamship Ebner O'Neill, which transported grain over 130 years ago, was discovered. Due to the decrease in water level at the Harrison Dam, archaeologists were able to uncover the remains of the ship, which had remained virtually untouched since it sank. The submerged vessel was also spotted in 2011 during a Missouri River flood. Local resident Nick Ettinger went to see the wreckage and shared his impressions of the importance of preserving historical objects. The Ebner O'Neill ship became a significant symbol of history for him, allowing him to see the actual iron and wood used to construct the ship. He urged the public to show respect for the shipwreck, as it is public property and a protected historical object. Thus, the sunken steamship Ebner O'Neill became an interesting subject for exploration and attracted the attention of history enthusiasts. This unique artifact allows us to glimpse into the past and better understand how goods were transported on rivers over 100 years ago. Sun Moon Lake is one of the most famous places in Taiwan, as it offers incredibly beautiful landscapes with bright turquoise water. However, this winter, the temperatures turned out to be too warm, and there was almost no rainfall, causing the water level to significantly drop. But it's not all sad news, because now tourists can see the statue of the 9 frogs that is usually submerged underwater. In reality, the statue consists of several parts and was designed to be visible only underwater. However, currently, 7 out of the 9 frogs are visible above the water, which is truly an unusual sight. One of the tourists said that such a phenomenon had happened many years ago, but she is seeing it for the first time. Additionally, due to the lack of rain, the pink trumpet tree blossomed much earlier than usual. Its flowers resemble cherry blossoms and look magnificent. How do you think this can affect the upcoming planting season? Could the water shortage become a problem for farmers? For now, we can only hope for rain and for the water level in the lake to rise to normal. After all, the beauty of Sun Moon Lake and its attraction should not suffer due to weather conditions. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out our previous episodes.